Hello, YouTube. We're going to get our Instagram folks going here. Yay. Hello. So good to see you. Welcome to this Pisces New Moon creative ritual. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a really peaceful and soul nourishing creative ritual. So I'm very much so looking forward to this experience, and I hope that you are as well. Before we get started, I do just want to kind of remind you of some of the things you may need or want to have around you. You absolutely are not required to have these things with you. You can just use this experience, as a way of conscious reflection, or if you want to do a little bit more active reflecting, we are going to do some little bit of journal work, not a ton, but you may want to have something to write on and a pen. Also a safe place, because we will be doing a little bit of breath work and some centering. So you want to make sure you're in a place where you can do that effectively. And you may also want to have something with you that makes you feel safe. Like me, I've got my selenite crystal. I love this crystal. It really helps me feel centered and in alignment with my higher self. So if you have something like that nearby, or a blanket or whatever makes you feel really good and cozy, you may want to have that. And then lastly, there will be time for sharing at the end, because this is going to be focused on affirmations and creating affirmations. We're going to create some affirmations today. I would love to have you share them with the community. So there will be time to do that. And then we'll also affirm all of our affirmations for each other and really use the group energy of this community to solidify out loud the intentions that you have for your future, and for your creative journey, so that it's not just you rooting for you, but it's all of us collectively, our energy saying, yes, that is what gets to happen for you. So with that, I think we will go ahead and get started. I'm just going to drink a little bit of tea. If you didn't know, if you haven't been following, I'm in Denver right now. Today is actually our last day. My partner and I are in Denver, Colorado. We came here to visit on a wellness vacation, somewhere where we could go and just be together and be healthy and do a lot of self-care. The top that I'm wearing is actually from the River Yoga, which is a studio here in Denver that we absolutely love. Highly recommend if you're in the area. We went to a session every single day that we were here, and they were all amazing and moving and transformative. So they definitely know what they're doing over at the River Yoga. And otherwise, this is just a really cool city. I highly recommend Denver, especially for creatives. There's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of support of the arts, a lot of support of people doing unique and interesting things. So if you ever get a chance to visit Denver, I highly recommend it. I'll also show you these little Care Bear earrings that I got yesterday. This is Sunshine Bear, and this is like Rain Cloud or Storm Cloud Bear. These were created by Toby, who works at Recreative Denver, which is like Goodwill for art supplies. The most genius idea I've ever heard of. Amazing store. All right. So I'm going to stop jibber jabbering about Denver, even though it's so awesome. And we are going to talk about the new moon. So later this evening, the new moon, evening if you are here in the States, I think it will be later at night or very early in the morning on Monday. If you're in Europe, this new moon is a Pisces new moon. And we'll get into some of the Piscean themes that we're going to explore in today's session. But let's just talk in general about new moons. Why are we talking about new moons with Awakened Creators? What do new moons have anything to do with creativity? Well, creativity, as you maybe have started to notice on your journey, really flows in cycles. It is not consistent. It is not always, rushing forward and producing things. Sometimes creativity wanes a little bit and it's more of an introspective energy. And then other times it is a pushing out, more extroverted energy. So creative energy flows in cycles. What else flows in cycles? Nature flows in cycles, seasons flow in cycles, the moons flow in cycles. So knowing and understanding that our own creative energy is also flowing in the cyclical nature by paying attention to lunar cycles and the archetypes and energies that they are bringing in can really be supportive for us along our creative journey by giving us an opportunity to pause and reflect on something specific about our journey that may be really prominent at this time. So when a new moon happens, what's occurring is that the sun and the moon are conjuncting each other. So they're coming together. They're literally like merging. And that is why new moons are often talked about in terms of manifesting, because it is as if the sun and the moon are coming together to create and seed and birth something new. So with that in mind, and I'm curious to hear from you all if you are using new moons at all in your creative practices. Is this new to you? Are you actively already utilizing new moons? I'm sure there's folks kind of all over the spectrum. Maybe some of you just don't ever really pay much attention to the moon, besides noticing when it's full, maybe. And others of you may be really in tune with lunar cycles. So I'm just curious if you're willing to share kind of what your experience using new moons. And I will tell you from my experience, since I really have been paying more attention to lunar cycles and utilizing new moons, especially for manifestation and keeping track of things in my journals, the seeds that I'm planting around those times, I absolutely have seen evidence of those things manifesting by the time the full moon occurs in that same sign. Sometimes quicker, but if they're larger things or they are internal shifts, it usually takes about 6 months to really feel solid in those changes that I'll look back and I'll be like, oh my God, like I actually became that person that I wanted to become. So this particular new moon is a new moon in Pisces. And I was recently reminded, I don't know why I didn't think about it, but this is the last new moon of the astrological year. We just entered Pisces season. By Aquarius, we love you. But here we are now in Pisces season, and Pisces is the final sign of the 12. So this new moon is the last new moon of the astrological year. So if you reflect back over the last 12 months or so from this point, you may have noticed a lot of change in yourself. Maybe you're at a stage right now where you're about to, or feel called really to let go of whatever had kind of come up for you in this last year as far as lessons. And you're really ready to allow yourself to fully step into and step forward with this new version of being. So whenever there's shifting energies like that, when we are releasing and then stepping into new, it's really important that we give thanks for the growth that we've experienced, especially because a lot of that growth and I'm sure you can relate, probably happened through adversity. It probably happened through pain. It probably happened through having to face things that were uncomfortable. So it is really important, and especially with Piscean energy, that is all about grace and compassion and really embodying that merge between being divine and being human, and accepting that we are both simultaneously, right? The two fish swimming in opposite directions. We are both things simultaneously and whole in that, right? So it's not about always being good or always being happy or always ascending or always whatever. It's also completely beautiful and part of our experience to have those lows and to go through those moments where we lose our cool, where we doubt what we're doing, where we question our path, because those are the experiences that are really going to open us up to become this greater version of ourselves. So please make sure that you are in this new moon in some kind of way, which you can do ritualistically, or maybe you can journal about, just giving thanks for what you've experienced over this last astrological cycle as this comes to an end here with this new moon. Another thing I want to remind you all is that even just in our creative community, remembering that everyone is at a different place in their journey, right? And some of you are coming back to creating after not creating for years. Some of you are maybe exploring new pathways for expression. Maybe you used to express yourself with one medium and now you're kind of exploring this new thing that's attracting you. Maybe you are far along in your journey and you are stepping into more of a leadership in your role in your community, or being considered the professional artist for the first time in your life, and that's new. So it's important that we honor where we're at right now within ourselves, and that we honor where everyone else is also, right? It's not good or bad. When we honor where we're at, where they're at, we can avoid comparing ourselves. We get to avoid judging ourselves and just allow acceptance and gratitude for where I am, for where you are, for where the artist next to you is, and just let all of it be okay. So I'm going to start to name off some Piscean themes. And I want you to really start thinking about, and you can journal this or you can just consciously reflect on it, which of these themes are you either looking to manifest or that are you noticing coming up into your experience right now? Like a theme of grace, allowing yourself to make mistakes and let that be okay, that you're not perfect and you're perfect in your imperfection, right? That's part of the awakened creator's invocation, is that we honor the perfection in our imperfectness. Is that a word? Imperfectness? I don't know. Another theme, compassion. This is a big one for me. I am, for the first time, I feel like finally having compassion for myself. I have been so hard on myself, especially as the leader of this community, as a mom, feeling responsible for everyone and everything, and, you know, laying all the wands on my back, right? And holding that 10 of wands like, I can do it, but should I really? You know, sometimes compassion is about taking things off your plate, giving yourself a little bit of relief, allowing yourself to not have to do so much to prove anything to anyone. Faith is another theme that Pisces really calls us to a higher faith in life. And that faith comes from being willing to face the unknown. Faith isn't about certainty. Not in the respect of like, I always know it's going to work out for me. But faith is about, I'm going to do this thing that scares the crap out of me, that part of me is doubting that I'm capable of, but I'm going to do it anyways because I really do trust deep down that this is like, I can intuitively feel this is next for me, or this is necessary, or this person holds the next step in my journey. So I'm going to go to that art show. I'm going to take that invitation. I'm going to speak up online. I'm going to share my art with someone. I'm going to, tell someone I'm a writer. Like, is there a way you can further step into faith? So maybe you're feeling called into greater faith, or you want to manifest greater faith. So start thinking about the things you're wanting to manifest with this moon. Other themes: dreams, connection with your soul and who you really are on that soul level. Magic. I'm really believing in the magic of your life. Like, did you ever really think you'd be here where you are at now? We're always looking forward, always looking forward. We're conditioned to look forward, but did you actually ever stop and think, wow, like I think there's some quote out there that's like, I used to dream about the life I'm living now, or maybe it's a pop song or something, I forget. But, where are there aspects of your current life that you had been waiting forever to manifest, and now you have, like, magically, here you are, but it's not magic. It's you. You are the magic. And lastly, a theme I want to present for you is a bridge between the divine and reality. So again, that fully human, fully soul, that paradox, that merging, those two fish, individually incomplete, but together combined, that yin and yang, that light and dark, that wholeness. Okay. So with those Piscean themes in mind, maybe you grab onto one that feels really prominent in your experience right now, or one that feels like the next thing for you to really embody along your creative journey. And we're going to get ourselves centered with some breath. And then we will get into the affirmation practice. So, cross-legged here. Oh, I love Wing of Jewels says, oh my God, I literally have a piece of wall art that reads, I remember the days I prayed for the things I have now. Absolutely. Yeah. And, here's another thing about compassion before we center. It's like, I don't know about you, but sometimes, again, I can get really hard on myself and like not give myself any credit until all the boxes are checked, until I've manifested everything that I wanted, right? But that's such bull crap, because like I'm getting there. So wait, you're telling me I don't get to like pat myself on the back or be grateful for anything until I have everything? Like, that's such BS. So yes, really thinking about what parts of your experience did you used to really dream of having, and allowing yourself to give gratitude to that, while simultaneously, here's the paradox, right, of Pisces, while simultaneously still wanting other things. Like, it's okay to be very happy with where you're at and also want more. Wanting more is okay. Wanting more is okay. I think especially as women in this society, we are taught not to want more, or that we are selfish if we want more. So yeah, it's okay. Thank you for sharing that. It's beautiful. Absolutely, that is confirmation for you. You are in exactly the right place at the right time. We always are, aren't we? So get yourself into a comfortable position because we are going to center with some breath. Nothing hard, just some easy breath work. And make sure that you are sitting up straight but not stiff. Maybe you place your hands gently upon your knees or over your heart, whatever feels good, whatever body position you're feeling called into in this moment. And I think my hands on knees is good for me, but yours might be different. So just listen to your body. Begin to breathe in nice and deep into your belly. Let your chest kind of open, your heart space, and sigh it out. And just give yourself permission to be here now. And take another deep breath into the belly, allowing it to come up towards the chest center and open, expand just a little bit more in your chest, and exhale it out. And let's do a couple more in. Really feeling that expansion and release. Nice and slow. And let's do that one more time and just try to exhale even slower than your inhale was. So let's go in. Feeling that expansion and release. And just sort of let your breath normalize and slow. Maybe take notice of anywhere in your body you might feel a little bit of tension and try to just soften that space a little bit more on your exhale. Sort of bring some conscious awareness there and release it. And place your hands on your heart, and in this moment, just give yourself some gratitude for being here, for making time for yourself, for making time for your creative practice, for this creative ritual, for communing with your creative brothers and sisters, for being a part of this Awakened Creators family and allowing yourself some time to reflect on the journey, to stop racing towards some finish line or the next project or your list of to-dos or the laundry or the kitchen that needs cleaning, but just giving yourself a little bit of time to connect with self and with others, to commune with spirit and your creative energy flow. These are the practices that are going to help you endure along your journey, anchoring in like this. So good job. Good job, me, right? Say, good job, me. Good job, me. I'm awesome. Let yourself know that you're proud of yourself, that you love yourself, that you're your best friend. All right, let's talk about some affirmations. Yes. So you may have or may not have seen, I posted on Instagram some affirmations for this Pisces new moon. And we're going to kind of explore these. And again, with the journaling nearby, you can consciously reflect. You are more than welcome to journal whatever's coming up for you. This is your practice. So I may have like start the creative ritual and hold the space for it, but this is your creative ritual practice. So however it feels good to you to do it, please do. And after we get off the call and you want to stay for a moment with yourself and reflect more, you can do that, right? Make it your own. So I tried to incorporate some of the Piscean themes into these affirmations. And after we explore these, I'm going to show you a way of creating your own affirmations that I kind of discovered by accident whilst journaling at the end of January. I was like, I got to share this with the community because they really oh, thank you for letting me know the music was loud. I apologize for that. Hopefully that's a little bit better. If you can give me some feedback, Instagram, and let me know if that is better. I apologize. Technical difficulties. They follow me everywhere. Okay, thank you. Okay, much better. Awesome. So the affirmations for this Pisces season, if you want to really hold one of these or just reflect on them, you can. I am opening to the magic of my creative journey. And as we are speaking these, and I would love it if you would affirm them as well, if you feel comfortable. If anything comes up for you, maybe resistance to that affirmation, or it sits really, really solid inside of your body when you say it, I would love to hear from you in the comments, especially if you have resistance to it, because when we have resistance to an affirmation, I think that is a cookie crumb, Hansel and Gretel, like that will take you somewhere magical if you follow it. Why do you have resistance to that affirmation? So let's say these at least, let's say these at least once together. And let's just feel into it. No, we're going to say them 3 times. Sorry. I'm trying to listen to my guidance here. So let's place our hands on our heart. Let's say these. I'll say it first. And then we'll say it together. So I am opening to the magic of my creative journey. I am opening to the magic of my creative journey. I am opening to the magic of my creative journey. How does that feel inside of you when you say that? What comes up for you? I am opening to the magic of my creative journey. And as you're reflecting on that, I'll just share something that came up for me, is that I didn't ever really consider my creative journey very magical. Like there's a lot of do it this ways. If you want to be successful, you must ABC. These are the top rules for blank, social media, making money as an artist, getting published. There was a lot of rules and structure that didn't allow me to consider my creative journey very magical. It felt more like linear, and if I do this, then I get that, transactional. But what I am opening to and want to plant the seed during this Pisces season, and what I hope you'll open up to as well, is the magic of your creative journey. the people who seem to come out of nowhere, who resonate with you and hold the next piece of your journey. The inspiring music or art that shows up around the corner when you go the wrong way down the street, that inspires you or holds an answer or comfort that you needed along your path. Where can you open to more magic along your creative journey and allow yourself to let go of all the rules and the shoulds and the have-tos and let the universe start to create this with you? Yay. Okay, so Wing of Jewels says, I literally smiled at the end of speaking the sentence. That's great. A smile is fantastic confirmation that you're ready to really embody this. And there's no right or wrong. If you have resistance to certain affirmations, it doesn't mean you're wrong. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It just means you're not quite there yet. There's still something inside of you that's not, and your ego more than likely, or your mind, that's like, that's incorrect. Nope, you're supposed to do it this way. I read it on a blog once. So-and-so on Instagram, who's very successful, exactly does their reels like this. So that means I have to, no. Soften those parts of yourself, show them compassion. They're just trying to help you. Their methods are questionable, right? The ego and the mind's methods are questionable. So, but listen to that resistance. Allow yourself to follow the trail. Okay, let's do another one. Hands on heart. Let's feel into this one and tell me what comes up for you. I am fully human, yet fully soul. And in wholeness, my authentic expression is made manifest. I am fully human, yet fully soul. And in wholeness, my authentic expression is made manifest. Let's feel it one more time. I am fully human, yet fully soul. And in wholeness, my authentic expression is made manifest. And sit with that for a moment. And if you feel comfortable sharing what comes up for you with that affirmation. Does it make you smile? Does this one make you smile? Do you feel like you can embody this one, or are there aspects to it that are uncomfortable for you? Maybe you're comfortable with being fully soul, but there's still parts of you that are uncomfortable being fully human. Maybe wholeness, maybe the word wholeness brings something up for you. Wholeness. You want me to accept all of myself, but there's parts of me that are icky and mean, and nobody likes those bits. Nobody wants to see that stuff, or aspects of my creative expression and things that I love that would make other people uncomfortable or say that's weird or not understand me. And I'm already feeling vulnerable about being not understood. We can run from our wholeness as creatives, or we can embrace it. And the closer we get to embracing it, the closer we get to finding our authentic voice as a creator, our uniqueness, our style. You know, everyone's always like, find your art style. Your style is you, friend. You are the style. Your authentic wholeness is the style. And you will find it only through accepting all aspects of yourself. Oh, Axtina Monique says yes, a smile and happy tears. Oh, friend, love the happy tears. Happy tears feel so good. Let them fall, let them fall, let them fall. Beautiful. I smiled again on the last few words. My voice deepened in a good way. Ooh, wing of jewels. Yes. Creating right where you are. That is amazing. Yeah, I feel like when it like resonates all throughout your body, like that is the magician magic happening. You are literally speaking it into existence. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's explore the next one here. Here's where we talk about some grace and compassion. Hands on heart. Softening and settling in, listening to our body's response to this affirmation. I am worthy of my own grace and compassion as I move through my creative journey. I am worthy of my own grace and compassion as I move through my creative journey. I am worthy of my own grace and compassion as I move through my creative journey. How does that resonate with you? Where does it feel sticky or stiff? Where does it flow? Where does it feel good? Maybe the worthiness bit, or the idea of having grace and compassion for yourself. Or maybe you have grace and compassion for yourself in other aspects of your life, like being a parent or a student or an employee or whatever, like other identities that you have a lot of grace and compassion. But when it comes to being an artist or expressing your creativity, maybe you have a little less grace and compassion for yourself. Maybe you're more impatient with that part of your life, or have really high expectations and are very mean or cruel to yourself when you don't meet them. I am worthy of my own grace and compassion as I move through my creative journey. And wouldn't it be nice to manifest that if you're not there yet? Wouldn't that be nice if your creative expression and where you're at on your path and where you're headed, you could feel loving towards, compassionate to, and gracious with? And how would that feel if you could be there and become that? I love this one. This one's probably my favorite, just for the reasons that I shared. Oh, Artist Vav on YouTube says, I am on the verge of tears. That one reached deep. Yes. Yeah. Sometimes when this affirmations, if you really sit and breathe into them, feel into which parts of them feel uncomfortable or which parts of them your soul is crying out to embody. Like, please, please have more compassion for me. Listen to that. Yes. It's guidance. That's guidance. Oh, Wings of Jewels says, I felt my face muscles tighten up slightly, like they do when you are sad. Ooh. Our bodies hold so much wisdom. So much wisdom. And sometimes little pinches and twinges or tensions that we feel can relate to restrictions we felt in the past, or even just be a little signal like there's something there, that breadcrumb trail, right? So pay attention to that. And the creative blocks, like chakra healing guide that I have, comes with a body scan that really helps teach you how to scan your body for its wisdom and where it's holding little pockets of tints and or gray energy. I see it as little gray energy balls, and where they might relate to the different themes of the chakras. So if you're interested in like doing a full body scan for when you have blocks come up, that can be a good practice for you. This one was a bit harder to connect with. Okay. So definitely worth investigating when an affirmation is hard to connect with. Sometimes it's just the way it's written, and I apologize. I know I love writing, but you know, the words have to feel good coming out of your mouth and in your body. And sometimes when we read other people's affirmations, we need to kind of tweak them just a little bit so that they resonate more with ourselves. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And we're about to do your own personal affirmations too. And that's going to be a really powerful practice. So let's sit with this last one and then we'll get into that. Just taking a nice deep breath. Let's clear away that last affirmation. Hands on the heart. I am committed to loving myself through all phases of my creative journey. I am committed to loving myself through all phases of my creative journey. I am committed to loving myself through all phases of my creative journey. Breathe into that one. Tune into your body. Pay attention to what words felt sticky or stiff, or anywhere in your body you might feel tension or block. I kind of feel a little bit of a block here for me in my throat chakra space. So I know I have a little bit of work to do to open up fully to this one. I am committed to loving myself through all phases of my creative journey. You know, a lot of times we are, again, so focused or taught, conditioned. This isn't even like really you. This is conditioning. So you can let yourself off the hook a bit there. You've been conditioned to focus, hyper focus on outcomes, hyper focus on end goals, hyper focus on money or the accumulation of things as an external reflection of your worth, We are not encouraged, taught, maybe some of us are, but generally this comes to be a learned lesson. And this is why the Awakened Creators community is here, to help us reprogram ourselves and relearn to be present with every part of this journey. There is no end goal. There is no outcome that's better than right here, right now. What you're doing right now, what you're creating right now, where you're at on your path right now. There is no better than right now. And how can we commit to loving presence with where we are on our journey right now? And in every moment hereafter, always right now, as you're painting, as you're exploring the city with your camera, as you're sowing your next creation, can you love where you're at right then and there? Not focus on selling or getting or achieving, but just loving that you are doing what you love to do. You're with it. You're right there. It's flowing through you. How could there possibly be anything more exciting and beautiful than that moment? To remind ourselves of that. It's all beautiful. It's all beautiful. So, again, after today, if you want to more deeply explore and journal and reflect on why a certain affirmation might have been difficult for you, or why maybe a particular word in the affirmation was hard to embrace fully, I think that would be a very fruitful practice. Wings of Jewels says, with this last one, my voice gradually became a whisper the more I recited the affirmation. And when we paused to breathe, some tears came up. Tears for me are always representative of a release, whether they're happy or sad, or, coming from a certain experience or seemingly coming out of nowhere. Release is happening, is occurring. The body is letting something out, and that is beautiful. How moving. And I love the whisper too. Let it be gentle, right? Pisces is a very gentle energy at its highest vibration. Every Pisces that I know, including my son, he's 7, he's a Pisces, and at his best, there is just this gentleness and this sensitivity, but it's, we're told sensitivity is this negative thing, or it's wimpy or whatever, but it's a sensitivity as in like sensitive to vibrations. It's feeling constantly and aware and compassionate because it can feel that. So that gentleness, that tenderness, when he finds a flower or an animal, and it's just, he's so tender and gentle with it. That's beautiful. That's Pisces is such a gift. All of the zodiac archetypes are such a gift, and we each possess, even if we're not a Pisces sun sign, we all have Pisces somewhere in our charts, and that energy is all 12 signs together create the completeness. So where can you embody more of that gentleness and that whisper, that tenderness with yourself as you're moving through your journey, right? Oh, Xtina Monique is a Pisces. Yay, it's Pisces season. Happy birthday to you. I'm sure you've got a birthday coming up. Sensitivity is a superpower, wing of jewels. Yes, and thank you. He is a very beautiful boy. I love him very much. Okay. Oh, 227. All right. Wow, that's very soon. That's very soon. Happy birthday. Okay, let's create some affirmations before we run out of time here. I have a plane to catch in a couple hours, so okay. So far, we have spoken out loud 4 affirmations, and I've asked you to reflect on how you felt doing them. So I think that's a really good practice to continue, especially as you, go out in the world and you are, receiving information from others. Paying attention to how those things feel in your body is a really good skill to start having or building. So, how do we create more aligned affirmations, though? Because I'm sure all of you have experienced, maybe when you first started exploring the power of affirmations, this kind of flatness or misalignment with an affirmation. I just think this particularly becomes potent when we are talking about like trying to manifest money or finances and things like that. And because our conditioning is so obsessed with financial accumulation or material accumulation, when we create affirmations that are pointing towards something our ego wants, it's not that it won't necessarily come true or that it won't manifest, but in my experience and what I've really been learning in these last couple of months very deeply, especially during my time away from Awakened Creators and just moving through a month-long spiritual inner journey, is that the more we can affirm and manifest from a soul alignment, from where our soul wants us to go, from where our soul dreamed of incarnating into these bodies for the purpose of XYZ, when we can align with that and manifest from that space, they're much more powerful and potent and have a larger ripple effect on the external environments, the people around us, to where they don't just benefit us, like I want to, have $30,000 or something, like maybe that only benefits us, but like your soul would want something like that to benefit other people in addition to you. So if we can just kind of move the ego, scoot the ego out of the way just a little bit, go beyond it, align with soul, and then create affirmations and manifest from that space. And the soul really operates from a feeling space rather than a things space. And a good way to think about that is if you think about freedom, right? The feeling of freedom. That looks different for everyone. Freedom feels like this set of circumstances for this person, this set of circumstances for this person, and this set of circumstances for this person. But if we operate from ego and we say freedom only comes from quitting my day job, we kind of rob ourselves of the opportunity to manifest a feeling of freedom much faster, because maybe you can already start to feel free before you even get the opportunity to leave that job. We also rob ourselves of the opportunity to have different, more soul-aligned circumstances come into play to manifest that freedom, that feeling of freedom. So with that in mind, and thinking about that the soul really desires to feel certain things, it came into this human form to feel its reflection everywhere, to touch it, to taste it, to move sensually with it, to smell it, to breathe it, to not just be consciousness floating in consciousness, but to actually have a physical experience, a feeling experience in the physical. What do you want to feel? What does your soul want to feel next on your journey? And here is where I would encourage you to write down the feeling that your soul wants to feel next or manifest next in your experience, in your daily experience. What is that feeling? So start with that feeling word, and I'll give you some examples in just a minute. And then after you grab hold of that feeling, I want you to start to add a little bit of details to it. Like, where are you feeling that feeling? With whom are you feeling that feeling? How are you feeling that feeling? So I'm going to give you an example here in case that's maybe a little too abstract. So back on January 31st, I said I wanted to feel connected. Where do I want to, and with whom do I want to feel connected? With friends, surrounded by friends and love. With you all. You're part of that. I also said I wanted to feel inspired. But where and how and with whom? I wanted to feel inspired by others to awaken my own creativity. Seeing other people's art, hearing their stories and their journeys, and allowing that to inspire me. Maybe you want to feel joyful. But where and how and with whom? You want to feel more joyful with your creative journey? Do you want to feel more joyful while you are in the process of creating? Where do you want to feel more joyful? How do you want to feel more joyful? With whom do you want to feel more joyful? So these are kind of the two parts of creating a really resonant soul-aligned affirmation. Start with a feeling that your soul really wants to feel, right? Because the soul wants feelings, the ego wants things, which is cool. Things can reflect the feeling, but that's the secondary, right? First, we feel it, we vibrate it, we hold that, then it's reflected external through a person, place, or thing. So connect with what your soul longs to feel. And then start to add some details. With whom, where, how. Xtina Monique says, I want to feel the joy of myself and others expressing themselves authentically Yes. That is beautiful. Right? Being surrounded by people who are authentically themselves and need nothing from you. They don't need your validation and you don't need theirs. You're all just doing your own thing, filled with love. Your cups are full. That is heaven. That is a party to me. That is amazing. Wing of Jewels says, I want to feel deeply connected to others and myself. Yes, the soul longs for connection, loves connection, loves being connected, feeling connected. Fantastic. So if you were to grab hold of the feeling word and add some details, right in front of that feeling word, if you were to put I am, the goal is that it would make an affirmation, right? Because that I am is your soul stating what it is. I am this. I am this vibration. I am. Okay. So we do want to try and shape our affirmations to that level of uh, embodiment. Okay. So, for example, with mine, connected, surrounded by friends and love, I will put I am in front of that feeling word connected. I am connected and surrounded by friends and love. Or I want to feel inspired. So the feeling word for that one is, for me, inspiration, inspired. So I can say, I am inspired by others and awakening my own creativity. Okay. So how can you tweak yours just a little bit? So right before that feeling word, can you say, I am feeling that vibration within the context that, the where and how and with whom. I am joyful. Well, the rest of that for me was as I share with ease and exchange with others, which is what I'm doing now. And what I'm look to manifest is to be a better, a more resonant leader of this community. So yes, perfect. So Wing of Jewels tweaked her just a little bit. I am deeply connected to myself and others. I love how myself came first this time. Yes. And doesn't tune into how that feels. Did that feel better? Did it feel more resonant? Did it move through your body with more ease, more electricity when you said myself and others? This is how you create more powerful, more soul-aligned affirmations. So, holding those affirmations close to you, I would like to move into a channeled prayer and just affirming everything that we have done together here and everything that you are speaking into existence, because you all are seeking to manifest incredibly beautiful things that will not only benefit you, but will benefit others. It will resonate and ripple out through this community, through your family, through your partners, through your communities locally. When you start to really embody these deeply connected and soul aligned desires, it's only going to have an incredible impact, positive, loving impact on everything around you. So I think I felt more expansively tingly in my body. Yes, that's always a good, the tingles are a good indication you are on track. Okay. So let's soften just a bit. Let's settle back into our bodies. It's getting centered again. Setting our journals down for just a moment and reconnecting with ourselves and each other. And I'm just going to open up and ask Spirit, God, Universe to be present with us now as we get to know ourselves a little bit better in this moment. Get to know our soul essence, the force of creation that is flowing through us when we are creating, making manifest our creative journeys and our paths, and really connecting with that part of ourselves. And giving gratitude again to ourselves for being here, for taking the time to connect with this part of us, and being committed to making the most of the lunar and celestial energies that are floating all around us. Allowing them to not just be in vain and happening for no reason, but to utilize those energies in a way that brings more love to this earth through us. So thank you for that opportunity. And thank you to self for being here to embrace that opportunity. In Spirit, I would just like to affirm the affirmations shared here today and spoken here today by myself and by others, to affirm these by the power vested within us by the Almighty Creator. We are capable and called to create our own realities. And we choose to do so here now. And we choose to affirm the following. For Xtina Monique and for all awakened creators everywhere, we affirm the desire to feel joy and express ourselves authentically. I am joyful. I am joyful and expressing myself authentically, and others are doing the same. And for Wing of Jewels and for all awakened creators everywhere, I am deeply connected to myself and others. May we all find that connection. Within us, and then bear witness to the magic of seeing it reflected outside of us. Thank you for the gift that is this life, for the gift that is this creative journey, and for the precious, precious gift that we each are in our imperfect glory. We are love, each of us. And we thank you for loving us the same. And as we speak it, we know it shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. Here we are. This is it. Heaven on earth. We're making it happen. You, me, the Awakened Creators community, everything that we are doing together, each of us individually and collectively are making an amazing impact on this planet. And it's only going to keep growing as more and more people step into their gifts, step onto their journeys, and start creating from the heart. And you are a part of that. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, for being committed to your art, to your heart, to you. You are worthy of that commitment. So thank you. Oh, thank you for affirming when you spoke my affirmation. I laughed and cried a few tears of joy. I love you so much. I love all of you so much. Thank you for being here, and thank you for affirming with me. We are, my partner and I, heading back home. So I will see you all on the gram and YouTube sometime. Probably not the rest of today because I'll be traveling, but sometime soon. I do have some really cool stuff to share from Denver that I just haven't had time or energy or space to share yet. But there were some really cool shops and art and all sorts of goodies that I know this community would love and be inspired to see. So I'm going to get that all together. And to expand on what I shared in the last IG Live, which if you didn't catch it, I was talking briefly about starting to make change in our local communities as far as the arts go, and creating partnerships and thinking about how can we partner and collaborate with others who have similar desire to express themselves authentically in our communities. So maybe it's you and a local musician who could do a show together, or maybe it's you, your crafts and a local clothing shop that could work together. So really just starting to think about how you can build connection and collaboration in your local communities. Yes, we are connected here online, but it's also really important to me that I encourage myself and you all to start connecting on the ground as well, and really taking over the world. That's the big plan. Secret's out, right? We're going to take over the world. Art's going to take over the world. Creative expression's going to take over the world. And we are the forerunners of all of that. So look forward to more on that. And then I'm also interested in starting to bring on speakers with different expertise to share with all of you in like a workshop format. I posted a little bit about that in my stories. I did have a poll in there. So if you haven't answered the poll, please go over to my Instagram and look in my stories for that poll to bring on some folks who we experienced here in Denver incredible somatic movement and sound healing that I really think they could create something awesome to really unleash our creativity. So if you would be interested in attending a workshop like that, or a workshop related to, I don't know, maybe some breath work that you could start to learn about, that you could utilize in your creative practice, or also even practical skills like social media for creatives, or business skills for creatives. I really am looking to not be the only one talking all the time and bring on other people who have incredible gifts to share. So let me know if that's something that sounds really yummy to you, and I will take your feedback into consideration. All right. Well, I got to go pack and get on an airplane. I love you all. Bye for now from Denver, Colorado, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Thanks for coming.